Guys, welcome to Mexico City. We're here almost near to the Museum of Anthropology and History of Mexico. As you can see, this is the god Lalo, who represents the rain. And this is Marina's sculpture. He is 5,000. He was made from Jose Morado, Guanajuato. This is a nice entrance for the museum, as you can see. Okay guys, welcome to the museum. This first part is the hall, where you can see like a combination coming from the ground. It represents the pyramid of Cupilco, and it was supposed to present in the top like the art piece of the month, but now it's only for temporary expositions. Also in the sides, you can have orientations for tourists and provide guidance.
A little bit about this umbrella, which is a very representative element of the museum. First, it's important to mention that this waterfall, or the waterfall that is supposed to be here, means the connection between the museum and nature. That's why it's very important. Also, this umbrella has the biggest hanging roofs in the world. It is covered in bronze and it is decorated by the Chavez Morado brothers. It is divided into four sides: the east side, the west side, the north, and the south side. Each side represents a part of the history, of the Mexican history, and has specific elements that symbolize that part of the history. You can also see a jaguar, an eagle, and in the sword you can see that it becomes two faces. One is the Spanish face and the other one is the Indian face.
West of Mexico include the states of Sinaloa, Nayarit, Jalisco, Colima, Michoacán, a part of Guanajuato, and Guerrero, which to some extent is an exception. Various cultures developed in this area, and we can date the remains from 1800 before Christ until the Spanish conquest in 1521. Well, here explain like the main phase of each state and also the period for classic, and post-classic.
Question.
Yes.
Are these women?
Yes, these ones are women.
And why were they important?
Because they represent the fertility. Well, this represents the architecture and the communal parties, and it's like the houses where the people used to live in that period, so it's like a representation of it.
Hey guys, this is a representation of Chacmo. This figure is very common in these cultures. They used to sacrifice their people and put here their heart and do rituals.
Now we are in an hour culture. This culture is very important, and more than 1,000 people speak this language. So the Nahuatl used to live in Veracruz, Puebla, Guerrero, San Luis Potosí, Hidalgo, Morelos, Mexico, and Tlaxcala. And what is true about this culture is that it had a marketing on the identity of Mexicans from what areas of the country. There are historical, political, and social reasons, either going back to pre-Hispanic times or more modern origins in Mexico, and its group is a diversification, and is also a result of the fact that it has its highly diverse regions. And the rooms include themes, each one describing Nahuatl culture over time, at the subjects chosen over the important aspect of the group. the location in Mexico today, conversion of Christianity, the ritual life, and geographical environment. This mural is about the spiritual conquest and where it's represented the evangelization. Are very important during the rituals and dancing because it will represent something important for this culture.
Are over here are the ones that people use in our times for the carnivals?
Yes, it's not just a mask, it's a complete costume. And they were used in rituals that were related to Christianity and things like that. And nowadays we are still using it to represent our culture.
Okay guys, welcome to the room dedicated to Oaxaca, which is a big state that is divided into 7 zones or 7 regions, in which the most important is the Central Valleys. And here in this region, there takes place a party, an annual party, which is called the Guelaguetza, in which each region has a duty to represent their culture with a dance and with the most important products that are produced in the specific regions. Let's continue.
What is the Istmo?
Istmo is a zone of the state. It's located to the east and is one of the biggest and has a lot of economical importance in the state.
Okay.
Guide, I have a question. What does this represent?
This is a dancer that is representing the Danza de la Pluma. And this dances every year in the Guelaguetza, and they represent the fertility, and they are thankful for what their God gave them to the year, through the year. So they dance, and this is like the typical clothes they use during this dance. And this penacho, it's very big and heavy, yeah. It's very big and heavy. This is a representation of the clothes that are typical in Oaxaca, and these are worn by all the women there. So this represents different zones of different regions of this state. For example, here we have some parts of the north and south, and they are represented during the Danza de la Flor de Piña, for example, and this one is from the Guatepec. And this machine that is here, it's where they are made, and commonly the women is the one who produces these beautiful clothes. It's the only state where you can find black clay, and it's very famous. They have a museum there, so you can buy some pieces there, and sometimes you can learn how to make them. This is also from Oaxaca. It's made of the material of the can, and they painted and everything.
Welcome to the Mexican room. Well, in this part we're going to know more about the work and the peoples who settled on the Mexican Central Plateau after the decline of the Tula flourished politically and culturally towards the end of the 13th century. Also, leaving a wealth of independence of pan-Mesoamerican ideas, essentially comprising shared myths, gods, and religious cults in various realms that grew in power at the time, forget their identities, with artistic styles that had a common visual language. One of the most important penachos
This is a replica and it's made of feathers and it has gold. This one was used for the most important governors of Tlatuani, how is it called? For example, Moctezuma. Do you have any question?
Oh yes, is this original?
No, it's a replica. The original one is in Vienna and it was used or installed during the conquest.
Okay guys, we're here at the calendar. It represents the sun. One of the five chicas above all others in the sun of the sun. Discovered in December 1790 in the Plaza Mayor of the capital of New Spain.
As you remember, as we see and talk in presentations and in Cantona, the ball game was a really very important part of the culture. And well, we couldn't see Cantona. Here is where you're supposed to put the ball aside. If you look at the games or the party money, it's supposed to go in and out the first.
Which is called the throne, the bisecting throne. As you can see, the main pieces are two snakes, which are looking at opposite side. They are snakes, they have seven attributes, and you can also see the two tongues, which are bisexual tongues, and this is believed to be used as a throne or an important stone in sacrifices. Any doubts?
That's pretty cool.
These are the scales of Xochitl, and it's very important because of the upper part we can see a representation of Quetzalcoatl, and here we have a heart with three
Blood drops?
blood drops, yes, thank you. And on this side, no, on the other side, sorry, we have an ocelote with a corn cup crossed by an arrow.
Here we have a lot of ceramic and different things that were found in Tula, but although they were found in Tula, they come from Nicaragua or Costa Rica. We're not sure. It was like that's so in that time, but right now it's these two countries. This is very important because it represents the economic and the transactions that they do with the Central America and with the culture of the Toltecas. Okay, this is the Gulf Coast Hall. This is very important because this main part of the state. Oh, hey guys. This is the Gulf Coast Hall. It's very important because this part of Mexico has a lot of diversity in animals and in plants, and it was surrounded by water and a lot of typical plants. Also, this is the main important art piece of this hall because it's the Olmec head, or the giant Olmec head. As you can see, is the representation of the human form, and especially the form. It weighs like 20 tons approximately, and it's very important because it's like the main part of the body.